Welcome to Rajbihani Astrology. Here you will learn practical astrology. Today we will analyze the chart of Gary Lee Sampson, an American criminal, who murdered 3 people during his lifetime, and he was also addicted to drinking alcohol. Alcohol addictions come when Jupiter is afflicted in the chart. He was a Cancer ascendant person with the 6th Lord Jupiter placed in the sign of Scorpio in the 5th house. His Jupiter is afflicted in the chart as his Jupiter falls under Yama, death, in the Kalachakra chart. Yama, death, is a highly malefic category of the Kalachakra chart, and planets die or lose their significance when they fall under Yama, death. I will explain the Kalachakra chart shortly. When any planet falls under Yama, death, it is said to be afflicted. That is the major reason he was addicted to drinking alcohol, as his Jupiter is afflicted in the chart. His Jupiter is placed in the sign of Scorpio, which is a sign of addiction. Jupiter has lot to do with the stomach, as Jupiter rules the Nabhi chakra in the human subtle system. I will tell you more about Nabhi chakra shortly. Also, his Jupiter is placed in the 5th house of the stomach. As such, Jupiter in Scorpio is not a problem, but when Jupiter falls under Yama, death, in the Kalachakra chart, then it becomes a problem, as then it spoils the Nabhi chakra in the human subtle system, and when Nabhi chakra goes bad, then the person is not hesitant to eat or drink anything which is even not good for the stomach or liver, and that is the major reason Gary Lee Sampson became alcoholic. Also, Scorpio is a sign of deep-rooted issues, and Jupiter is placed in the sign of Scorpio. Also, Jupiter is a planet of law and dharma, and when Jupiter gets afflicted, the person may do things in life which is against the law or dharma. When you indulge in robbery or theft, this is also something that is against the law or dharma. And that is also the reason Gary Lee Sampson was involved in robbery and theft, because of the afflicted Jupiter in his chart, as Jupiter is also a planet that represents treasure or wealth. But you should also know that afflicted Jupiter doesn't always give alcoholic addictions. But Gary Lee Sampson got addicted to drinking alcohol because his moon is placed in the sign of Cancer in Ashlesha Nakshatra, and Ashlesha is another nakshatra that is associated with poison, drugs, medicines, etc. Ashlesha is a nakshatra of nagas or serpents, and serpents are associated with poison or drugs, and so this was also the major reason he was addicted to drinking alcohol, as alcohol is also a sort of poison. The sign of Cancer falls on Ashlesha nakshatra, and Cancer is a water sign or a liquid sign, and alcohol is also liquid. Also, his Jupiter falls under Yama, death, in the Kalachakra chart when we make the Kalachakra chart with reference as moon, and this shows that on the mental level, he was obsessed with drinking alcohol. There is an option in the Kalachakra chart to look at this chart with different planets as reference points. You can download the free Jagannath Aura software on your computer to look at the Kalachakra chart. Now it is also stated in the biography of Gary Lee Sampson on the Astro.com website that he murdered 3 people during his lifetime. This was due to the fact that his Saturn is placed in Mula Nakshatra in the 6th house of fights and enemies. Mula is an extremely destructive nakshatra, and Niriti rules this nakshatra, who is a fierce deity associated with destruction and violence. Saturn represents the weapons and tools made of iron and steel, such as guns, swords, knives, etc. So, Saturn, when placed in Mula Nakshatra, could even make the person murder someone, especially when Jupiter, sign ruler of Mula Nakshatra, falls under Yama, death, in the sign of Scorpio, which is also a sign of death and killing. Also, his 10th house falls under Mrityubhaga, and that is the major reason he was sentenced to death, as the 10th house represents the government rules and regulations. When any house falls under Mrityubhaga, it loses its dignity, and you can look at Mrityubhaga in the Jagannath Aura software. Earlier I mentioned the Nabhi chakra. If you want to know more about the Nabhi chakra and also want to confirm if Jupiter rules the Nabhi chakra, you can visit the website www.sahajayogabengal.com/Nabhi-chakra and look at the Nabhi chakra page there. It is clearly mentioned that Jupiter rules the Nabhi chakra and the stomach is just part of the Nabhi chakra. When Nabhi chakra gets spoiled, then it often gives addictions, and it is mentioned there. So, this is it in this video. Please like, and also subscribe to the channel for more such valuable videos on Vedic astrology.